City after Tuesday forecasting. It's going to be cold. Winds will make it feel even colder than that. So definitely bundle up if you can. Just stay inside. As we look forward to
breaking news from the Supreme Court. The justices have agreed to take up whether states can ban same-sex marriage.
One of the most iconic cases in history has now been taken up.
A new year, a new decision. The Supreme Court says it will take up the issue of same-sex marriage.
It's a historic day here because the Supreme Court has never agreed to decide this question. Now it is taking it.
To take up the issue of same-sex marriage. The justices will hear the cases in April, and they will ponder whether the Constitution requires states to issue marriage licenses.
This is a historic announcement by the U.S. Supreme Court and a major sign of hope for countless same-sex couples.
Supreme Court will take that step in
Again, we have to wait until they actually issue their decision.
And no matter what they decide, they will make history.
The Supreme Court took up those cases today. The arguments are going to happen in April. And then probably in June, the Supreme Court of the United States will issue what very well might be the biggest gay rights ruling ever.
Good afternoon, Freedom to Marry. This is Mark.
Okay, the Supreme Court has said this is it. We've got, what, 4 or 5 months to now continue driving this narrative of America's ready, and it's time, as we've been doing. We really have to exhibit that urgency as we're sending out the message. Winning isn't won, and it's not a done deal until it's done. The case before the Supreme Court is the marriage case. It's the case seeking the freedom to marry, the culmination of everything we fought for.
My biggest fear is that we lose. This is not just a normal court case. This is a case about the dignity of millions of Americans.
We stand now before the Supreme Court, having gone from 0 states where gay people can marry little more than a decade ago, to now 37 freedom to marry states. But we're not done until we've won the freedom to marry with no state and no family left out. And the job is not done, and it's urgent, and it makes a difference. It makes a difference whether it happens this year or next year or 5 years from now. It makes a real difference to real people.
Evan has been the leader of this entire movement, and he's gathered together political operatives, message people, new media, all looking towards the same vision and moving in the same direction.
Evan has driven this thing. From the mid-'80s, he has driven it all the way through to today.
You know, one way or another, I've been working on this for the most part of most days for 32 years now.
And are you filming?
Yeah.
Don't just curious me when you're filming. That's not fair.
Why?
Mike, I'm gonna make you turn it off. I mean it.
Okay. I mean, one of the things you do is activism, okay, for gay rights. Why do you do that?
Because it bothers me. Injustice, pompous as it sounds, bothers me. I think it's unfair that people should not be able to live their lives and make their own choices in a country that's built on respect for individual choice and diverse exercise of freedom.
Evan is the extremely unique guy who, as he realized he was gay, he was like, I'm gay and I'm being treated unequally. What's the matter with the rest of the world?
So this is my neighborhood, this is my street. We used to walk up here to elementary school. You felt part of a community, supported and loved. So very, very lucky, very lucky. I grew up in a loving family. We were certainly Jewish identified, and I had a bar mitzvah and we went to Jewish summer camp, but we weren't an intensely religious family, but the values were there. Bring your part, mend the world, care for others, be a mensch.
Evan was always very bright. you know, he would try to help out and all of that. You were an A-OK kid.
I always used to say someday he was going to be president of the United States.
He was supposed to be the first Jewish president. In fact, I remember he was 4 years old, maybe 4 years old, and he was reading the New York Times. Not only was he reading it, he was understanding it.
And when he went away to the Peace Corps and then came home was when he announced that he was gay. And then we thought, I'm not sure he's going to be president, but he's going to be something.
It was clear to me that he was going to be a winner, and it is so far.
So far.
So far.
Right.
No, it's true.
We now have oral arguments set for April 28th, and we're going to be doing a national television ad. It's not a done deal. The Supreme Court does not just look at the Constitution and give an answer. You have to earn your way to being considered worthy of equal protection.
And so our teams are preparing the briefs so the court hears from all of America, business leaders, clergy, civil rights leaders, to give them the arguments and the comfort of knowing that the country is ready.
I think that most of those companies will join.
And we're trying to build on the sports teams that have signed on. You know, the Tampa Bay Rays are super enthusiastic, and you know, everybody.
The question isn't just, will we win? It's how did we get to this moment at all?
In a national telephone poll earlier this year, NBC News found that a narrow majority felt that homosexuality was immoral.
We were perverts and outcasts. We were dangerous. We were threatening. That was the dominant narrative of LGBT people in this society.
Most Americans are repelled by the mere notion of homosexuality. The average homosexual is not interested in nor capable of a lasting relationship like that of a heterosexual marriage.
Gays were the dread